agreement, which is renewable every 5 years, will see Equatorial Guinea supply equivalent of 150 million standard cubic feet of natural gas per day to Ghana. Now, the MOU also provides for the building and operation of the LNG regasification terminal in Takoradi in the Western region. Now, this agreement is yet to kickstart, but already the minority in Parliament is raising concerns over the MOU. This morning, the minority has been briefing the media, where Ranking Member for Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Adam Mutawakilo, has been speaking. He joins us in the studio with more. Hello, many thanks for joining us in the studio.
Good afternoon.
But Honorable, why are you raising red flags already over this agreement?
There are no red flags. We are already alerting the government that the minister said it's an agreement. And we are alerting that once it is an agreement, an international agreement, it must end up in Parliament for ratification. This is in line with the Supreme Court ruling on Gitmo 2 and in line with Article 75 of the 1992 Constitution. And I'll seek your permission to read the Article 75. Execution of treaties. Article 75(1) says, the President may execute or cause to be executed treaties, agreements, or conventions in the name of Ghana. 75(2) says, a treaty, agreement, or conventions executed by or under the authority of the President shall be subject to ratification by A, Act of Parliament, or B, a resolution of Parliament supported by the vote of more than half of the members of Parliament. This is a constitutional requirement, and we are asking the government, once an agreement is done, that agreement will contain what we call the terms and conditions of that agreement. And per this requirement, we expect them to bring it to Parliament for approval.
But obviously, Parliament is on recess, and you agree with me, you're coming back when?
In October?
In October. Are you not jumping the gun? Probably it may be on the lineup for the next, when you resume Parliament.
Certain events happen, and it gives a signal. I think we are all aware of $2.2 billion, $2.25 billion bond that was issued without parliamentary approval. So it is very important that we raise the red flag or the alert to draw their attention. So we shouldn't wait until when they start executing the project, then we start saying that, oh, okay, bring it back to Parliament. Because LNG project with the gas agreement is just the beginning. LNG project involves a processes. Cost of transportation is taken into consideration. The regasification unit is taken into consideration. You have to do the mooring for the ship to dock. So there's a lot of processes. And all this translate to costs, because in pricing the price of LNG, all these are taken into consideration. So LNG is not cheap. I heard the minister said LNG is cheaper than light crude oil. It's not always the case.
So what exactly are your issues? Do you have issues with the agreement, or you just have issues with the procedure?
No, we don't have issues with the agreement because we don't know what is in the agreement. And that is why we are asking that government should ensure that it comes to Parliament for us to approve for execution to start. It's only when the agreement is brought that we'll be able to know the terms and conditions in the agreement, and we'll be able to say, okay, it is a good agreement, or it is not agreement that we should accept.
But already you are raising issues of cost, and I want to find out more. If you say it will come as a cost to Ghanaians, exactly how do you mean?
What I'm telling you is that when an LNG is undertaken, we have the cost of the gas, we have the cost of the transport, shipment, because it's in the liquid form. So the ship has to be shipped here. If it is within like our gas plant, we use pipes. So here the cost of transportation is shipment. There's a cost to it. Then they have to set what we call the regasification unit. Because in the liquid state, you need to convert it to the gaseous state. And therefore, that also is a cost. So we should be able, with the agreement, when it is laid before Parliament, and the committee has an opportunity to look at it. We'll look at the nitty-gritties and to be able to say, okay, it is a good agreement and therefore we should go for it. Or, okay, this one, the ultimate consumer, which is the S who consume electricity, will be expected to pay more, and as such, we should have another way of looking at it.
You want to know the price involved. Then you talk about the price for the Greater Jubilee Fulfilled Development. What exactly do you want to know?
You know, the Greater Jubilee Fulfilled Development, it contains a lot of fields. And because of in 2007, the government wanted to fast-track the project. They asked that it should be developed in phases. So the first phase came, second phase, and now they are considering the whole Jubilee project, including Teak, Mahogany, and Akasa. That means that it's a totality. And they submitted the plan of development to the Ministry of Energy. Now, in the plan of development is the cost of gas. The gas that currently we are consuming is free. Now, in the agreement, they put that when we consume 200 million cubic feet of gas, any extra will pay for it. But it's not for them to just tell us pay this amount. We have to do the economic analysis of the whole project to be able to arrive at a certain figure. The information available to us is that the Jubilee partners have submitted the plan of development to the Ministry of Energy. And in the plan of development, they are requesting for the payment of $3.1 per MMBTU, which we think that it is very high. It shouldn't cost more than $1.5 per MMBTU. Because when you do the analysis and you take only the incremental analysis, that means you are only considering the additional cost from the 3 fields. You might get 3.1. But it's Greater Jubilee. You are considering the economics of the whole project. And if you do that, it shouldn't cost more than 1.5. So we are putting it to the minister that in negotiating, he should know that anything above $1.5 per MMBTU will be of greater cost to Ghana. The other thing, you look at every project, you look at the rate of return. So we need to ask questions. Assuming Jubilee partners do not charge for the gas, how will their rate of return look like? And I'm telling you that the rate of returns will still be more than 20%. And 20% is the benchmark to determine whether the project is risky or not. So we are putting it to the minister that in negotiating, he should take note of this.
I need to end this interview, but I'm curious. I need to find out one thing. There's been this argument between Extreme Cubic, EPA argument. Since you're the ranking member for Mines and Energy, it's only appropriate to find your stance on this. You find it worrying, right?
Yeah, it's in mining, we go through a process. You go for the permit for reconnaissance. Permit don't come to Parliament.
Okay.
No. It's when the final lease is given, then it comes for ratification. And it's quite worrying that we demonize a lot of Ghanaians, including my brother Ibrahim Mama. Any move he makes, people are interested to bring him down. I think
is that what it is?
No, it is very, very important as a nation to approach things fairly. Very, very important. You yourself will realize that there is a conflict between the action taken by Asante Regional Minister and the Minister for Lands and Forestry and the Forestry Commission. The Forestry Commission said they have issued a permit. I thought that the Asante Regional Minister should have coordinated this, the ministry and the commission, before taking such action. You don't take action like that. 2, EPA coming with the distance. I thought that being such an agency, they should have first of all invited Ezon Kebe to come in so that they discuss it first. Or if you have your document proving, and then at the end of the day, when you are coming out, you know what you are about. But issue a statement without, first of all, meeting the company to verify is worrying.
All right.
And as a committee
thanks
member, I see it to be worrying.
That's all time will allow us. I would like to go more into this, but that's all time will allow us. Thank you so much, Honorable, for passing through on the pulse. And so that was a ranking member for the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament. He's with the minority in Parliament, and they're raising a lot of issues with the gas MOU signed by the president in Equatorial Guinea, where he went recently. But on the